everyone, and welcome to this new edition of GM Web3 dedicated to MultiversX like every Wednesday in the morning, 9 a.m. UTC and 10 a.m. CET. We are live on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, of course. Yeah, my mic is on, so if you don't understand, because it's because of my mic, maybe. Okay, I'll try to do better. In the meantime, I will receive my co-host Arno. Hello, Arno. What's up, brother?
What's up? Did you get 10 years younger since 2 weeks ago?
Okay. The thing is, this morning I wanted to shave a bit, but I forgot the sabot again with my mustache. So I decided to shave everything. So yes, I'm 17-year-old now.
You know, I would look even younger than you. So it's been
Definitely.
20 years I didn't shave. Since 15 years old, I didn't shave. I didn't
Can you
have
hear
much.
me?
What?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Is it better?
It's better.
Oh, thank you. So yeah, I think without your beard, you would you would look like
No.
12, 11. Okay.
7 maybe.
Okay. Great for your girlfriend. Keep your beard. So it's a pleasure to be here again. Last week we were not here because of Paris Blockchain Week. We'll be joined during the show by Joachim, who were there with me. So we'll be talking about different various topics later. But first, let's speak about the program. We'll be receiving VeroPay founder Ovidiu. He's already here, and I will make him join in a few seconds. After, we'll be receiving Vortex, which is like a very loud community member. And yeah, we'll chat with him about different topics. And after, I have many subjects I will speak about, like Globies, Hatom. I will speak about as I was saying, Dinovox also. So yeah, various topics about what's happening in the ecosystem.
Boogas.
So, Booga, of course, it's on the program too. So guys from the audience, of course, don't forget to repost, to like, to put a comment, to subscribe, and so on. Also, you can write your comment in the chat section, so we can read your questions or anything you want to share with us. And thank you to the partners of GM Web3 dedicated to MultiversX, and both, you know them. First, it's Hatom, and second, it's eApes. About eApes, since you changed your PFP 2 weeks ago, eApes became trend again. So we're so powerful. No, so seriously, it's in my opinion well deserved. After, like we said, 2 or 3 years, 4 years of resilience in the ecosystem, and so yeah, good GG to you for having chosen their PFP for a time. Maybe you'll change later for another one.
Maybe I launch my own NFT project and chill it.
When? And about Hatom. So let's start with them. We'll speak about eApes later. I count on you, Arno, to remember me that I need to speak about eApes during the show, because
in 45 minutes.
Yeah, after Ovidiu. So Hatom is a platform on which you can liquid stake, you can lend, you can borrow, you can take your freedom of money, financial freedom, like we say. And they launched the first native stablecoin on MultiversX, the first native stablecoin, the USH, and with which you can get some very juicy rewards. And maybe we can start by this in a few seconds. You, Hatom, gave some information around the airdrop a few days ago, and many people from the community was asking when airdrop. So now the date is live. So Arno, can you, for those who did not read tell us when and maybe how it will happen, and after we'll receive our first guest of the day.
Yeah. So the airdrop, the USH airdrop is going to start in exactly 7 days. So on the 23rd of April, so next Wednesday. And it is going to be divided in a period of 6 months. So you're going to have 6 chunks of your airdrop that you will receive. And since Hatom is all about making your money work and passive income, we decided to do this airdrop in a cool way where instead of receiving just USH, you receive an LP of USH and USDC. And so it is basically a passive income strategy that you receive. So then you're free to do whatever you want with it. Of course, you can split the LP and take the stable coins and do whatever you want with them. But you can also deposit them on AshSwap and then stake them on Hatom and make up to 20, 25, 26%. So that's happening next Wednesday.
Okay, sounds good. We'll speak about it, of course, later together. So, before we receive our first guest, retweet and comment on the X live show to try to win up to $30, so 2 times $15 in tokens. HTM, thanks to Hatom, and EAPS, thanks to EAPS. And let's start the first interview of the day. Ovidiu from VeroPay. Hello, Ovidiu. Welcome.
Hello. Nice to be here. Nice to be here. Finally, we had some tries in the past, but here I am. My name is Ovidiu. I'm 48 years old. I'm married. I have 3 beautiful kids, and since 3 years we start our Web3 journey. Learning from the
Ovidiu, it's okay. You're perfect. You start introducing yourself. We'll deep dive on your background, on the VeroPay journey, and so on. Thank you very much for coming this morning. You're right when you say finally, because it's been weeks. I proposed you to come on the show. I don't know why, but you know what? Because there are so many different projects that are popping on MultiversX and on the Web3 in general. But I don't know, like VeroPay seemed like promising with potential. And so that's why Arno too, you told me VeroPay, they're great, we should invite them, but we should find the good moment. And you also wanted to wait a bit before you come, so you have things to share with us. So yes, thank you very much for this. So first, Ovidiu, can you tell us about maybe your background even before VeroPay, MultiversX, and blockchain? Because if you're 44, I think you started before blockchain was a thing.
Exactly. So try to figure that I started my first business when I was, I think, 20 or 21. That was in 2002 when I deployed first company. We were involved in entertainment industry in Romania with a company for rental items for events. Every time when you go to any event, any party, are a lot of things that are not known by the attendees, like stages, speakers, microphones, LED screens, and so on. In order to have an event working, you need this kind of infrastructure, logistics for specific for events. Stages, LED screens, microphones, moving lights, and so on. And that's what we did almost 20 years here in Romania, providing to all kind of organizers the specific logistic for any type of event. We used to have our own big trucks, our own stages, 100% ready deploy infrastructure for any type of event, starting from conferences, small concerts, or big outdoor arena stadiums, big concerts. Everything was just perfect, very good business until pandemic. When the pandemic starts in 2020, unfortunately, the entertainment industry, at least here in Romania, but it was the same in France, in Belgium, in Holland, was the first sector that was blocked by the authorities, and the last one who was allowed to do his main activity. So try to figure that over 1 year we were blocked by the authorities to do our day-by-day business. But in the same time, try to figure that all the storehouse, all the big trucks, all the employees were supposed to be paid month by month. The accounting, all the suppliers. When I'm talking about suppliers, I'm talking about all infrastructure suppliers like bookkeeping or servers or suppliers for in order to maintain our gear. All of them were supposed to be paid month by month, but we as a company wasn't allowed to do our main activity. That was the moment when, since I had so many free time, I discovered the blockchain. Until then, try to figure that I used to have in my near me, my entourage, a lot of people with 6, even 7 digits in crypto. But I just rejected the idea. For me, on that moment, what the fuck? It's a scam. I don't have time for this bullshit, and I just rejected the idea. So starting March 2020, since I had a lot of free time, I started to read, to learn. And when finally I understand what really blockchain means, it was a revelation for me. And I noticed that so many gaps between real world can be closed with blockchain interaction.
Ovidiu, if I have a question, because that's always interesting. You said when you understood, it opened up something.
Exactly.
What was the one or two elements that made you, like instantly you thought, oh, this technology is something different?
The simple fact that any transaction, anything which is made on blockchain, it's immutable, and from here it opens so many perspectives and so many doors, which with ongoing Web2 platforms or tools, it cannot be achieved. Try to figure. And I will speak only from events point of view, because this is my main field specialization, and I will use the blockchain only in everything events related, because this is what we know and we are proficient on.
The connection is not. Sorry, Arno. I think the connection is not very good. Is it the same for you? For a video?
Same as that since we started.
Oh, okay. So it's my part. Sorry, Ovidiu.
Given the fact that we realized that blockchain as technology could close some gaps between real world application, it was something mind blowing for us. So starting from this in 2022, with colleagues from Ofero Network, which is in ESDT project, same from CBU, we made a concert with Delia. Delia is a very famous Romanian artist, where the access was exclusively 100% through NFT. So we made a small NFT collection, very, very, very cheap. Try to figure that on that time, if we are talking in euro, was something like 0.1, very, very cheap, just to test if the regular users are ready to embrace a new technology, a new thing, in order to go to see their favorite artists. Even if the cost of that NFT was very cheap, the onboarding steps were very awful. It was into Maillard time. If you remember, in order to register to Maillard, you had to make also the KC through Transact and MoonPay, if I remember where
Yeah,
was there.
when you wanted to ramp on, you needed
Exactly.
KYC to top up with crypto.
Because the main issue was that the regular user wasn't able to buy that very cheap NFT because he needed some EGLD for the fees. So in order to buy, I don't know, 0.008 GLD just to pay the mint fee, that user was supposed to make a KC and try to figure on that times. If you remember, we used to had even 4 hours to receive the positive response from MoonPay or Transact. So it was very hard to use this technology as a new tool for regular masses. From my point of view, we are still in a moment, even now in 2025. We have almost 5 years when we can say that the blockchain phenomenon and the crypto thing started to be mainstream, and day by day people discovered and wants to interact with it. But to use the blockchain in day by day living, from my point of view, first we have to let user use the blockchain without they even know that they are working on blockchain. Because let's be honest, I'm 48. I'm a technical guy. I'm excited about the technology, but I have a lot of colleagues and partners when we started to iterate to blockchain as a technology. We'll look what it can be done. Most of them was very confused. What wallet? What seed words? What 24 words? Come on, man! This is not for me. So, from my point of view, we will have this issue at least 5 years from now on. At least from my point of view, try to figure that users who are interacting with Hatom. Arno already spoke about Hatom. We are talking about a very small percentage of people with which they are DeFi. They are how to say. They are DeFi lovers. They understand the flow, but let's be honest. I think on Hatom, if we are talking about unique users, not unique addresses, because even me, I think I used to interact with different MultiversX protocol through at least 50 or 100 addresses. But I'm talking about unique users. I don't believe that Hatom in average day has more than a few hundred users, not wallets, which it's a problem from my point of view.
So, what's your relation with MultiversX and Aaron at the time? Did you reach out the core team? Did they convince you to build on this blockchain, or it was completely natural and intuitive for you to choose this layer one?
You will laugh. I have to say a few more things about the background. So after that concept in 2022, with Delia made with Feral Network, first we started to build an NFT ticketing platform. Initially, with my partner, it was built on Avalanche.
Okay, sounds good. This multi-chain experience.
Let me finish. So everything regarding the Web3 component was made initially on Avalanche. The UI was made to be very user friendly and in in a way that a user, if he wants to go to, let's say, Ticketmaster or whatever ticketing platform and buy a ticket, the flow as a user experience was the same. The blockchain part was only in the back. So every ticket was an NFT on the Avalanche, and the user used to receive a PDF with a ticket on his email. But when we started to think about future development of different flow cases, we realized that we are stuck. So beside the fact that on, let's say, on Avalanche, you can create an NFT, create a token, and make regular transfers, we had the same issue regarding relay transactions. With as I know, on that time it wasn't possible. I have no idea if now when we are talking relay transactions are available on Avalanche. I have no idea. But interacting with the guys from Ofero Network, which they had an ESDT on Elrond on that time, we discovered documentation of Elrond blockchain, and from the first iteration, we realized that this blockchain could offer us a long application, much more different, like we were supposed to build on Avalanche.
Okay.
So short answer to your last question: no, nobody asked us to build on Elrond or MultiversX. It was just our choice, thinking from a development point of view. It was
So
much
can you explain for those who don't understand what is NFC cash play solution? Because you know what, cashless, not cash play, cashless. You know what? I didn't know that word before. So can you explain in a very simple words what is?
Try to figure when you have your credit card from your bank. When you go to a store to buy anything, and when you are tapping your credit card to POS machine on that grocery or on that store, technically you are making a cashless transaction. This is the technical part regarding these payments. So let me figure another way. Are three types of payments in fiat flow: are online payments, physical payments, and cashless payments. When you use your credit card, you are making a cashless payments. When you are paying with cash, you will make a physical payment, and when you are paying online, you are making an online payment. Because the flow internal on how to say, on current fiat circuits, it's different. When you are paying online, is different when you are paying with credit card at store POS, but everything is related to your credit card.
It's clear. And when do the blockchain technology is in VeroPay?
So try to figure. Our solution is working like this in a few short words. When regular users are entering into event area, they will receive an NFC bracelet. That NFC is the same protocol which is used on a regular credit card. User can go to special places to top up his NFC bracelets. The top up can be made with cash or with a credit card.
So I couldn't, for example, top up my bracelet with my phone.
No,
not yet, or no, never.
We are not how to say, we are not a fiat payment facilitator. We are not a money institution.
Okay.
We are working with clients' money. In what does it mean? You put your fiat, your cash card or your credit card money from your left pocket onto the bracelet, which is also yours. You are just moving your money from your left hand, let's say, to right hand.
Okay, clear.
So
Okay.
in our backend, each NFC bracelet is tied to a MultiversX wallet. User has no idea, has no access to that wallet. When you top up your NFC bracelets or NFC cards with real money, our backend makes a one-by-one transaction in the back using a technical internal ESDT without commercial value with the ratio of 1:1. So if you top up your bracelet, let's say with €20, in the back, in our backend, a transaction is made with 20 ESDT. And that ESDT is tied to the wallet of that NFC bracelets. We have our own infrastructure with special point of sale readings, which read that every time user tap the bracelet, it read the wallet and it makes the transaction. Let's say you want to buy a beer, it's €12 that beer. First, the system scan the value of the ESDT of the wallet, and it make a relay transaction with 12 ESDT from that bracelet's wallet to point of sale relayer wallet. So everything, basically, we give to each hardware items a wallet and a relayer. Try to figure that each point of sale, it's a relayer also, because someone has to pay the fee. The wallet tied to NFC bracelets has no EGLD for fees, has only that mirrored ESDT with the ratio 1:1, what you use when you top up your bracelet. I hope you understand.
Okay, we have a question from Kevin in the audience saying, don't you fall under managing for third person with this kind of system? So basically, you hold custody of users' funds.
Yeah, it's an internal flow. You as a user, you have no idea that your bracelet has a wallet. You have no, you cannot touch that wallet. You don't know even what is the wallet address.
Yes, but you buy crypto for the customer.
No. So
okay,
let me explain once again.
The €20 you buy the same amount.
No, we just mirrored the transaction, the real transaction into blockchain. Because try to figure, we have two components here. Is the real world money. So let's talk about accounting point of view. You as a user, you come to Arno's event. Arno is using VeroPay for cashless payments for his event. You as a user receive an NFC bracelet. You go to top up inside the event, you have to go to top up your bracelets with, let's say, €100. That €100 as a real money come to VeroPay company account. You go to one bar and buy a beer. That beer is €12. In the end of the day, that €12 should arrive to Arno company because he sold it. We are just facilitate a way to make the things more quicker for the end user inside the events to make to the user a more better experience. Try to figure in current operation inside an event, you have to go to bar to buy for a beer, pay with the cash, or take your credit card, waiting for the waiter to
And
mark.
so, Ovidiu, sorry to interrupt you, but
Please.
a while back, and I think it was more than something like 12 years ago, I went to Budapest and I went to a party that was happening in the terms. So you had water everywhere.
Yeah.
And we had not a bracelet, but we had an NFC necklace, with a card. And so at the entrance of the event, you charge the card with with your money. So exactly the same system as what you're depicting.
Exactly.
And I was basically paying with the NFC card. So,
Exactly.
but of course there was no blockchain behind it. So, you know what they say? They say in tech, if your solution doesn't bring a 10x improvement to the user or to the customer, people won't take the risk to change. In your opinion, how do you see your solution bringing a 10x improvement to either the end user or your customer compared to those previous NFC cashless systems?
I will tell you, and the answer is very. I will give you at least 2 or 3 points. Taking your example, let's say you on that area you top up your NFC with €100, and you spend let's say only 55. You have a leftover of 25. So in the end of the day, when you decide to go home to leave the area, you have two choices: to stay in a long queue in order to redeem your leftover, or to fuck it and go from there. Blockchain solves this because in our flow, end user after the event it's over, he is not required to stay in long queues in order to take the leftovers. He can do it very easy from his phone, or next day on the coffee in the morning, just to log into our platform. More than that, our system is designed to let the NFC bracelets to work from one event to other event. So try to figure, you Arno, you're going today on event 1, you have a leftover of €25, and next week we'll go to another event in another town, let's say, and if that organizer use our platform, your credit is still available. What happens on big events, on festivals? Even on big names like Tomorrowland, like Coachella, like they put in terms and condition a very strange things, like the open time in order to redeem the leftovers are very, very short. So let's say a festival of 1 week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Leftovers are open until Monday, 12 o'clock.
Yeah, that is very clear. It's very clear. And on an efficiency point of view, I mean, blockchain are the best rails to have money flow and managed. So in that sense, it is I see it as a good value.
And let me give you the second take regarding organizer point of view. You know, you are technical guys, that any classic database can be manipulated. Any server, any web page, any user data can be manipulated. So beside that, we are using blockchain right now. When I'm speaking with you, we are using the blockchain over 80% as a true database on blockchain. After Supernova release, our plan is to use 100% blockchain as a truly ledger database. So everything will be only on blockchain. And regarding that, during the time we receive a lot of questions regarding the privacy. What privacy? When you are going to an event and you receive a bracelet, that NFC wallet bracelet is the one who make actions on chain, not Arno. It's not tied to Arno. It's tied to a user. So even if someone can see on the Explorer, because we are putting on each transaction all kind of details, what was in your order, how many units, and what price. So if someone see on an Explorer that wallet, I don't know, whatever wallet, make a payment of 1,000 euro for 6 bottles of champagne, it's impossible to be tied to a person.
All right, exciting. So can you tell us concretely, because I know I've seen that you have brought your technology to life, it's been used. Can you tell us more about this? What type of event was it used, and what did you learn from this?
So in March 1st, a venue from CBU was very excited about this solution, and he decided to make an event, a retro party event. We had there 417 attendees. That means on entrance we gave 417 bracelets to each user. We had one cash top up and 2 card top up points inside the events, and we had three different point of sales. Where in each point of sale was uploaded the menu for drinks and food for that night. Users, what was very interesting from my point of view was since words like blockchain, wallet, take care of your seed words, keep them safe, wasn't involved. The users embrace this payment flow very easy, without question. Okay, so I have to put my money on this card, and I paid with the card. Let me show you a bracelet. It was something like this.
Can you show us again the bracelet? Okay.
Okay.
And can you show how thin it is? Yeah. Okay. Super thin.
Yeah, it's 1 or 2 milliliters. It's almost like the tin of your credit card, because it's the same technology. It's the same technology. If regular payments are using the 3D technology, which is more related and tied to banks and payment providers, we are using blockchain. And the funny thing is that a user, when top up his NFC bracelets, basically he move his money from left hand to right hand and make the payment. So in the end, basically, we are just providing a more quick and smooth platform to make the end user experience much better, and also to make organizers, settlements, more reliable with data and analysis that regular payments. It's just impossible to provide it. Try to figure in our dashboard. An organizer can see which was the top selling product, top selling bracelets. But since the bracelet is not tied to a person, we cannot talk about privacy. What was
can you mute yourself? Thanks. Sorry, Ovidiu. Keep going.
And since that everything is on Explorer and the Explorer and all the APIs from MultiversX blockchain are so vast, and you can build a lot of things. So in this way, we are able to give the organizers with real data from chain analytics that on regular Web2 it's just impossible. It's just impossible.
So, what's your vision for VeroPay? I mean, this is basically the foundation, the way I see it. It's like transitioning a use case that was Web2, the one I used 12 years ago in Budapest, into Web3, but building this on blockchain unlocks potential new usage and new money management. So can you give us a bit more of your vision for what's to come for VeroPay?
Yeah, I tried to figure that a few weeks ago. I was in a call with someone who owns a resort near here in Romania, near Danube River, with 3 or 4 hotels, some restaurants, some agreement area on the river, and so on. And he said, I have a huge problem. Guests are sorry, someone is calling. Let me close. Guests are coming to our resorts. They check in and stay here, let's say 2 days, 1 week, or whatever. But we have a problem, and nobody was able to give us a solution, a paid one, for the following thing. So a couple goes check in into Hotel 1. Then they go to restaurant to have the breakfast or the dining or whatever. In the end, they say, okay, put it on our room. How much do we have to pay? 200 euro. Okay, put it on our room. Okay. In the back, the waiter should make some adjustments and some filling some papers. Okay, I had the bill 223. It was 200 euro. The customer wanted on room 213. Everything is good until here. Next, that couple will go to river area to, I don't know, to go to beach or to go to pool or to go to spa. They take the services, which are the same services from the same vendor, if you want.
Okay, Ovidiu, let's be clear. We ask for the vision. So do you plan to raise fund? What's your strategy to, I don't know.
Not yet. So using our system is not require a paid token, paid NFT. We are just using
even in equity. I mean, to finance the growth, to finance the sales, to finance the marketing. If you want to grow, if you want to be big in payment ecosystem, you will need fund. So what's
agree with you, but our vision is like this. First, we want to prove that what we have built, it's working, and regular users accept this this platform, these services.
So what's the milestone that you're trying to reach? How many users, how many partners before you say, okay, the POC, the proof of concept is validated, so now we can move forward? What's the target for VeroPay? So you can come in the show again when we are here, for example.
So we prove our solution worked very well in the event area. Now we are working very hard to close that resort integration and to have another bulletproof use case in different sector. I mean in the legal sector. And the third thing that we want to do before expanding our services is to make a platform in order to be used by you in France, for example.
Thank
Because
you.
by someone in Germany, by someone because right now VeroPay is built to follow the Romanian fiscal regulation.
Oh, okay. It's
So in Romania it will work, but our goal is not to have customers only from Romania.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you very much, Ovidiu. Thank you very much.
Thank
All
you.
the best. Keep going and keep proving that it can work. And see you very soon on GM Web3 in a few months, maybe. When
I hope more earlier, not few months. We hope to finish Horeca integration in a matter of weeks.
Okay.
Here you can wait to prove, try to figure an NFC card to make payments, to unlock the door. I will send you in private
Yes.
a short video when how our bracelet opened the door.
Sounds very good. Thank you. Thank you very
room.
much, Ovidiu.
Thank you for having me here. Wish you a nice day and happy Easter, because the Easter are coming.
Yes.
Happy
You too.
Easter and keep in touch.
Definitely. Thank you very much, Ovidiu.
Thank you.
Take care, Ovidiu.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Very cool. Very, very cool. Can't wait to know more and to see more about this project. So it's time for a second partner, eApes. And after we'll receive our second guest of today. So thank you very much to eApes. eApes is we can say one of the oldest, one of the biggest NFT collection on MultiversX, and they are launching a new collection on Solana to explore new horizons, new community, new opportunities. I don't exactly know when they will launch, but it's in the plan. They already revealed some art. We'll keep following them, but they're staying on MultiversX with the main collection. It's very clear, but they're launching a new one on Solana. And thank you very much to eApes to support GM Web3, and they are offering $15 in their token eApes to one of you guys. You just need to retweet and comment the link of the show. So waiting for the next guest to join us, Arno, let's speak about exploring new horizons and speak about maybe what Globies, the Airbnb like project on MultiversX, just posted on X. I don't know if you saw it, but they made a poll for the community asking, okay, we are in a pivot moment of Globies. We need to do something to survive, to move forward. And so we were contacted by another chain. So what should we do to go 100% to Globies, to the other blockchain? Sorry, we should keep and stay on MultiversX, or we should go multi-chain and to explore this new ecosystem, but to keep what was built on MultiversX, of course. I answered, I gave my opinion about that, but I would like to have yours, Arno. What's your vision of a multi-chain for a project which think it's a good opportunity for it?
So I see it too in there's two ways. The first question I would ask is, who is the end user? If the end user is strictly a Web3 user, for example, a DeFi protocol, multi-chain is definitely a way to find more users. Because let's say, I don't know, you have 100 users on chain A, and you, as a platform that is only targeting Web3 users, you already have 40 users on chain A. It's already a super high penetration rate. Then it would make sense to go on chain B to basically address a bigger market. If your user doesn't have to be a Web3 user, then you don't have to go multi-chain. The only limit to your expansion are two things: infrastructure and growth. Infrastructure, it's basically, do I have the tools on my current chain to expand, to grow? I don't know. Do you need a payment on ramp? Do I have this? Do I need native stablecoin? Do I have this? Etc., etc., etc. If you have those, then there's nothing limiting you but your own capacity to grow. And that's you to find. If your user is not necessarily a Web3 user, then your ability to grow is yours. So that's my point.
It's
So
interesting. It's I agree with you. Especially because the main reason that is given by Globis is the refusal of investors, venture capitals, and family officers also, to fund Globis for the next steps of the growth, attracting Web2 users because of the blockchain that has been chosen, especially MultiversX. So this.
I'm sorry, but I can't hear this. I'm sorry, but I can't hear this.
Why?
This makes no sense.
Why?
If you're able to attract, if your end target is Web2 users, Web2 users don't care about the blockchain you're on because they're Web2 users. So if you go to a VC or an investor and you show your business, and your business can grow through Web2 users, then the VC will say, well, are you able to attract Web2 users? Then you show that you are able to attract Web2 users. Then why would the VC care about the blockchain you're building on? It makes absolutely no sense.
So there are two possibilities. First, or they are lying when they say that Globis, when they say that the refusal of the investors is 50% related to the blockchain, first, and second, is Globis a Web3 project? When they speak about tokenizing the overnight stays, when they speak about all the benefits from blockchain for the traceability of eco-responsible behaviors, about reducing the fees, about allowing and giving big benefits for holders and so on, is it a Web3 project? And so the VCs that they reached out consider Globis as a Web3 opportunity. In this regard, the blockchain on which it's building can be important. So what's your I'm just trying to give some elements and to have your opinion on this.
Short term, investors invest in projects they see they will make money on. It's math. So they look at the problem that you're addressing. They look at the addressable market, the TAM, the total addressable market. They look at how your solution is playing into solving the problem. They look at your monetization avenues, and then they look how you intend to grow. This is the equation. So I'm not in Globy's shoes, so I can't say, I wouldn't even assume that, someone's lying or whatever.
Because you say I can't listen to it, so that's why
I can't. So I say I can't listen to it because understanding Globy's value proposition today, it is one of the projects that I see capable of bringing users into Web3 that are not into Web3. But maybe, you know what? I don't know what the story they pitched to investors. Maybe the story they pitched is for the next 2 years, our first addressable market is a crypto audience. And then, of course, it makes sense. Then, of course, there's the discussion to be made. Are there enough users currently on the MultiversX chain, or do you need to go elsewhere? That's one point. But the second thing is, do Globies manage to attract even Web3 users? Because let's say that there's not enough users on MultiversX. Okay. Total addressable market, not big enough. Okay. Do you already have 300 users from MultiversX using your platform? Proving that, with Web3 users, it can work. And then with the growth strategy you have, you can scale to bigger numbers if you're in a bigger ecosystem. That if I was a VC, that would be the question. Like, okay, did you manage to attract some users on MultiversX? Okay, it seems that your value proposition is correct. It is understandable. But the market on MultiversX is too small. So you need to go on a chain where you have more users. Those are questions I would ask.
It's very interesting, and hopefully we'll have these answers very soon. They in the Telegram said that they will bring answers next week. So yeah, it will be interesting. So we'll now receive the second guest of today, Vortex. Hey, Vortex. Welcome. What's up?
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you.
Hey,
here.
Vortex.
Is it the first time that you participate in such a show?
Yes, it's the first time.
Okay, sounds good. So you look exactly like your profile picture, so no surprise with the beard. As you can see, I just shaved mine, so I look 20.
Much younger.
Yeah, definitely.
I like the beard more.
I know, but it will be back. So Vertex, actually, first of all, we've seen you posting on X every single day, and when I decided to create a pop figure about you a few days ago, I don't know why, but I decided to create an image of someone that has two different opinion, like sometimes you're so fucking bullish on EGLD, and sometimes you're like fudding, like they say, and criticizing some choices and so on. So the two sides of Vortex is interesting to me. And a few days ago, you were blocked by I think it was Lucian, and so I said, okay, you know what? It's a good moment to receive him and to have a chat with him, unfiltered, uncompromised, and yet to debate, to exchange about what you think. First of all, if you agree, Vortex, can you just summarize in a few minutes what's your story and how you decided to join MultiversX and EGLD journey?
Yeah, I joined the MultiversX since the Elrond times in early 21. It was my first big investment in altcoins at that time. A friend of mine introduced me to Elrond. I never even heard of it before then. And since then, I've been in the ecosystem and been buying every dip.
Okay, we saw that you are pretty close to Veroc, who come in the show several times, and we appreciate here. So, what's your relation with Veroc? Did he, I don't know, convince or motivated you to invest a lot, or you're just friends?
Actually, we are not that close. We just met online on the community, and I like his idea of the eagle squeeze. And
Okay.
I think I was like the first one to start it with him. That's why. That's how we met, but we don't know each other in real life.
Are you from Romania?
And I didn't invest in Eagle because of him. It was only my own choice. I don't invest based on other people recommendations or.
Yeah, you're right. Always do your own research and only invest what's your
So if I lose money, I don't have anyone to blame but myself.
Definitely. So can you tell us, of course you don't, it's not mandatory for you to answer, but what do you do in your life, first? And second, why did you decide to invest in MultiversX? What was, I don't know, the one or two or three things that made you bullish about this technology and this ecosystem?
Yeah. So in real life, I'm basically a professional trader. That's all I do, full time. And with my spare money, I decided to invest in eGold, especially. And I liked their vision that I saw in 21, their what they wanted to create and so on. But somehow I feel that that vision has been lost in time. They try to do so many things, then they stop some projects and move on to the next big thing and so on.
Okay, can you maybe be more specific? What changed since 2021? What was maybe the, I don't know, the moment or the moments when you think things changed and not in the good path?
Well, I think the biggest change that I don't like for me personally is the new name. I absolutely hate it. I don't want even to pronounce it here because it's hard for me to pronounce it. I don't want people to believe I say sexual words in a live conversation.
It's important. You know what? Let's have a chat. But before, let's invite Joachim. Hello, Joachim. What's up, brother?
Good morning, everyone. How you all doing?
Very, very good. So happy to have you. We'll speak together about Paris Blockchain Week later, but let's go back to Vortex. Let me just change the setup a little bit. This one will be better, so the guest is in light. So let's have a chat, a few seconds. So maybe it's stupid, maybe it's not. But you know what? In Romania, people are mostly believers. You know, Christian or Orthodox, or I don't know exactly what's the religion, but they're really believers. In MultiversX, we can hear MultiversX. So is it something that maybe it's stupid, maybe it's not? Do you think this is something that maybe some people in Romania and in other places where they are, I don't know, like believers or whatever, maybe they didn't like the name because of that, or is it completely nonsense?
No, I never heard anyone saying that they don't like the name because of their religion or something. But a name should be simple and easy to spell, easy to remember, which MultiversX isn't.
Okay, on
that's a basic knowledge about when choosing a name for your brand. Like Apple, Tesla, they're very easy. Nike, Adidas, and so on. They're very easy to remember, to spell them and everything.
I said before that I think only Benjamin and Foudre understood the background of this brand, because there is a background, there is a real story behind it, but maybe it's too much a niche for common people, so that's why they only remember the metaverse thing, which is pretty much a red flag in 2023.
Yeah, I think it was a narrative that they chased at that specific
because
time.
it was announced at the same time as X word, so maybe yes, we can consider that it was but anyway, of course, Arno, Joachim, feel free to jump anytime. You know how it works. Let's maybe go to today, okay, because rebranding was 2 or 3 years ago, 2 years and a half, I think. So let's go back to today. What's your opinion about MultiversX? Because we can see on Twitter, on X, that you keep investing a large amount of money on this crypto. So you keep investing, so you're still bullish about the potential. So yeah, where are you now?
When I'm once I'm in a game, I need to keep playing. I can't go back now.
Okay,
I
so
will ride this to zero if needed. No problem.
it's huge. Okay, so it's not about believing, it's about playing for you.
We can say it's both, a mix.
Okay, sounds good. Some people from the communities accused you for some words that you said on X, homophobic, racist, feminine, again, women, and so on. So maybe you want to answer to them. First of all, once on Twitter, you said, if something, you're gay. And I did not have the reference at this moment. So that's why I told you I'm gay, and so what? And after I saw the trend on Solana.
Yeah, it's just a joke with
Yes.
TikTok or whatever.
Yes,
But people took it too seriously.
Yes.
It's good to have fun once in a while.
When you have the reference, but when you don't have it,
Yeah.
you just can take it in the first degree. So maybe
they shouldn't be feel attacked. If you are gay, it's okay. It's your personal business, your sexual preferences.
Definitely agree with this, but just if you don't have the reference, you can understand that it was an attack. So let's maybe you want to answer about the different post. You know what, I'm not the last to be non in the line. I say what I want. I am unfiltered. I don't care about what people think about me, so I will not attack you for this. But maybe if you want to answer to some people from the community that maybe did not like some of your posts. You don't care? You care?
No, I don't care. If they don't like it, they can just unfollow me. I post whatever I want.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so let's go back to
as far as I'm concerned, I didn't insult anyone directly. Never.
Yeah, okay. Let's go back to the blocking of it was Luciano, correct?
Yes.
So can you tell us how it happened first, and second, we'll try to have a chat, a debate with Arno, Joachim, and you. And I am concerned, of course, because I am blocked by most core team members on MultiversX. It's like a game for me because I accumulate the cards. Anyway, so we'll have
we can race together to see how many blocks we get from the core members.
The last one to block me is Daniel Serb, so it's a pretty good achievement. Anyway, so yeah, how did it happen, and how did you feel?
Honestly, I don't even remember exactly. I just raised some concerns about his own.
Oh yeah, I remember because he said, okay, I remember the context. He posted something on Twitter saying to the Fed that MultiversX
Yes.
would be.
Yes, I remember. And I said, why are we asking for help from the Fed?
So the Fed will print money, so will attract liquidity in the ecosystem.
So somehow they are acknowledging that they are not doing so well and they need help.
And help from.
And I don't think it was the good moment to make such jokes when everybody is losing money. You cannot make such jokes.
Yeah, because to explain.
Also, for reference, in his comments, many people were upset about his post. So I just raised some concerns about it. And if he didn't agree with me and he had a different opinion, he could just show me that I'm wrong, prove me that I'm wrong, and that's okay.
And actually, he decided to tell you, let's be clear, it's a joke, with a pretty like angry tone.
It's a joke, but it has a little, how to say, every joke has a little truth behind it.
Yeah, definitely. But let's be clear. Let's be honest. Every crypto project like when the Fed is printing money because they know that they will get some liquidity from this. So what he wrote is not wrong.
Because maybe they think they will get, maybe they will not get any liquidity. We don't know exactly. They never. The Fed will never think about injecting liquidity directly into EGLD. They will just inject it into the market, and then whoever gets the liquidity is the good project that is deserving it.
You're right. Okay, so let's speak about should a founder, a core team member of a foundation, block community members, especially people like you, because you're a big investors, people like me, which is pretty much influential in the media on Web3 in general. So
yeah, definitely it's a bad thing that it will come back to you even harder when you block community members, especially big investors. Especially that I didn't insult or anything. I just raised some concerns. Like I said earlier, if I was wrong, just prove me wrong, and that's it. It's okay. Show me that EGLD is performing well, and nobody has any problems anymore. Nobody is raising questions.
And it's not just about the price of EGLD. I think people in the ecosystem.
Yeah, we are all here for the tech. Nobody cares about the price.
No, I did not say that. I mean, when all the tokens were dumping, EGLD was like any other. But when there is not just about price, but also about adoption, reputation.
It's not just about the price. You can also look at the coin market cap. The ranking at some point, EGLD was at 30 or something. If they would have at least kept that ranking, we would have been in a much better position. I'm not saying maybe advance in position, but at least keep it. So when you lose so many positions, it's definitely not just the market, but it's also something that you are doing wrong. That's my opinion.
I understand your trader point of view. You decided to invest like a trader, so you want a return on your investment. So this point of view is interesting. Let's maybe ask Joachim and Arno when he's back. I don't think you're a trader, Joachim. So it's not me. You're not. I am not too. So that's why the price of the EGLD is not the most important thing in my life. But what do you think about should a founder block a community member, especially a big investor or influential or builders? First and second, let's keep this first question.
So I'm actually going to quote a tweet from Justin Bonds, which we saw. I'm not saying I fully agree with the position, but it was a good one, and the timing was kind of strange. He said, "Unblock everyone and do it now. Be brave and face reality. Too many tough guys, in quotes, in crypto that are really just snowflakes. Blocking is a weakness. They cannot handle opposing views, makes them insecure and close-minded. I never block anyone ever, as I want to know when I am wrong. So that's Justin Bonds. Again, that is not me. I tend to precise, but there is a part of truth. Like basically, there's like bot accounts. There's accounts that like I mute. There's accounts that I've muted, but I don't really, as an individual, I don't see the need of the blocking, because again, like if you mute someone, you're not gonna see them. I believe that if they tag you, it's not even gonna show up, and like that gives you enough of like, if the problem is distraction, that like you don't want to spend time being distracted by people that lose your time, fair enough, mute them. That's what I do. But the blocking is much more aggressive in my opinion, and it shows that like you're going out of your way to show someone that you don't want to have anything to do with them. And obviously, being investors, builders, community members, or creators, yes, to a certain degree they are different because they play a different role. But just like as a standpoint, I don't think that's a good thing. Like, even if some of the criticism might be harsh or unfair, it's still worth listening to, because there might be some step for reflection on something that hasn't been done, or why people are reacting that way, even if you disagree in the way they're reacting. I think that's like a fair way of viewing things. So I'm actually pretty against blocking people. But again, each one is free to do whatever they want. That button was invented for a reason. So yeah.
And let's be clear about different things. First of all, Benjamin explained he blocked me, and I think it's the same for every other people he blocked, because it was to preserve his mental health. So the reality is not this, because he could have muted, but I think he wants to exclude members from the community, and he wants to prevent people from commenting, from replying his post, because when you are blocked, you cannot do this. First, and second, you said the button was not created for nothing. It's interesting to know that Elon Musk, the new owner of X, doesn't like the block button, and several times he said that he would remove this button and replace and encourage people to mute and not block people. So even the owner of X,
but that is to take with a massive pinch of salt, because he is very famously known to block people too. So I would take that with a massive pinch of salt, between what he says and what he actually does.
Really? Elon Musk blocks people?
Elon Musk blocks people,
especially. You can send me a proof of that, because
I'll find proof. But there's been several journalists and stuff like that have been blocked by Elon Musk.
Since he's
yeah.
Okay, I would be interested, because I've never. Okay,
I'll find that. But like, as you say, like the problem is that it creates this effect of the person being blocked sharing a screenshot, as we've seen several people do it, of I've been blocked, and it just makes things worse.
Exactly, this is the stress.
I think that for me, that is like, just if ignoring the first part of my thing, like the utility effect of it is actually quite bad, because you're giving more oil to the fire to that person.
Yes.
Because it's like, they don't like listening to the truth, so they're blocking me.
Yeah. If it was efficient, do it. But it's not even efficient about
exactly. I think that's my biggest problem with it.
I agree with you. Arno, what's your take on this?
You know what? I never actually thought about it that much. I think that deep down, I'm the kind of person who would say, don't block anybody, do mute when you don't want to hear people. But now I was trying to think a bit on a deeper level, like we are in a digital society where anybody can speak on social media. And I was trying to reflect, this situation in real life. So let's say that you are someone, and you have views, you have beliefs, you have convictions, and you meet someone in real life that you really just can't stand. Like everything that person says, you just hate that person. You just like dislike that person so much, and you actually see that person is quite influential in the way that it gathers around it people who also seem to think the same way. In real life, you have very efficient ways to never see that person. You know that person is in this bar all the time. And when you meet people, you can say, yeah, I just never want to see that person. So you can make it clear to others around you that you don't like to be around that person and you don't like that person's influence. So how do you transpose this into the digital realm? Because the digital realm is today how we see things.
Arno, if you want to make the analogy with the real life, let's say that X is an agora. Okay, so it's a place where everybody can speak, everybody can listen to the others. If when you block someone, you decide to delete, to remove him from the agora, and if you mute them, you just decide not to listen to him.
No, you don't delete because
he cannot come and reply to your post. So you delete from your agora.
From your agora, exactly. But that's why we can't make the exact analogy with the agora.
Absolutely, but it's the best I found.
I feel like the equivalent of blocking in real life would kind of be like a restraining order.
Yes.
And a restraining order, as in French, we have something before that called the main courante, and I don't know how you call that in English, so I'm not going to get into that. But like a restraining order is when it has been proven that you might be endangered by another person. And so
endangered or harassed.
Yes. Yeah, but there is a judicial decision taken by a third party that allows you to do that. You can't just put a restraining order yourself on someone. Blocking is I am my own judge and I decide this person can no longer interact with me in any given way. And I think that is an interesting debate. I don't think there is any right or wrong, but I think like it's and as you say, like if we take back to the example of the agora or any parliament, etc. The opposition, obviously, you highly dislike your opposition, no matter your political leaning, except for your center. They love everyone weirdly, but anyway. And it's not because for example, I would strongly disagree with the far right. Let's say, it's not because I disagree that like I can stop them from responding to when I go talk to the stage and saying my opinion on how the random imaginary country should be. No, they have the right to answer and they should. And for me, blocking is a bit that is just saying like, nope, your opinion doesn't matter. Mine is more important, and I will simply ignore your position.
Very interesting.
Hey everyone, it was nice to be here with you, but unfortunately I have to go.
It's okay.
I will watch the rest of the conversation after it's done.
See you soon on the show.
Yeah,
take
bye.
Care. Bye-bye. But if we come back to the efficiency of this marketing strategy, because when you are a builder, when you're a founder, what you do on the social networks are part of the marketing. It's the personal branding.
At least it becomes part of the story.
Definitely. And so let's speak about the efficiency of this marketing. This is not just personal, it's a completely corporate strategy, because the founders embody the project. So if we speak about the strategy, is it efficient?
I would say it, yes.
Let me finish.
It's super.
Let me finish. Okay. Just in my opinion, and I will of course give you the mic, but imagine today MultiversX is not very much adopted. Okay, so there are maybe dozens of people that are criticizing. Okay, it's not more than that, maybe hundreds. Okay, let's say that, but I think it's more of less than 100 people. So imagine if tomorrow MultiversX is adopted by millions of people. So what will they do? Will they block thousands of people to preserve their mental health and so on? No, it's not possible. So in my opinion, it's not a scalable strategy. So it's not a good strategy. Arno.
So in every cult society, because this is what we're talking about, you have influential people who dictate the culture. And if you look at someone like Elon Musk, who has a followership absolutely crazy around the world, he is a personality that is, people either love him or hate him usually, because he has views that are not random. They are pretty, like Elon Musk thinks in that way, and that's how he thinks on that topic, and it's usually pretty sharp. So when Musk says woke mind virus is a disease and it needs to be eradicated, to loads of people around the globe who associate culturally in their identity to this cultural movement, they feel super offended. But when Musk say this to all the people who follow him, it will tend to steer them in the direction that he thinks and he shapes, culturally speaking. So where I'm coming from this is
He offends.
My point when someone like Benjamin blocks you, he makes it clear to all the people who follow him and like his worldviews, he makes it clear that you are not interesting, you are not bringing value in.
You're right.
The thing that he's so right. All those people have a clear marker that GRM, everything that comes out of his mouth, whether we block him or not, is not trusted by the leader.
You're right.
So I'm not saying that this would be the sides to steer the culture.
What you say is proven, because in this case he made a post naming me, saying that I was a vampire, a war of attention, and everybody should block me. Yeah. It's fun. You know what? It's fun.
No, I don't think it's fun.
No, when I say it's fun, because I replied and we had fun about it, and it did not touch me, really. It's part of the game. So whatever. Yeah. What I say is you're right about your analysis of the situation. When he blocks, he says to his community, so the MultiversX community, actually, that this guy should be blocked by all of you because what he says is not relevant, etc. So it's not just about his mental health, it's about excluding people from the community, and we agree about this. Joachim.
Yeah, and if you can show the last message Kevin sent, because he has a fair point. Blocking is not something active, it's something passive. The other person, it doesn't create the status Benjamin Minku blocked GRM. It is something that the person targeted reacts and sees it the next time they try to check the profile. So it isn't as public as, for example, Elon Musk with the woke mindverse. But also there's another part to think about.
I think he cannot not know that the people will post about it. He's not.
Of course, but it doesn't feel like he's openly taking a position, if that makes sense. He's not saying I disagree. Like in your case, as you said, he named you and he made a tweet about it. That is active. But there's plenty of other people that have been blocked in a non-active way. But to go back to the comparison with Elon Musk, which is a very interesting one, is that Musk, we know that like divide to better conquer, right? It is a good way to strengthen your community than by creating division with the rest of the world. As you said, we get very close to cult behavior, but that is a way. But that is a luxury you can afford when you have millions and millions of followers, when you actually need those people to get further to meet your agenda. I don't think, and that is my personal opinion, I don't think we're there with MultiversX or with Benjamin's following to have the luxury to create division.
You know, it's interesting because you see two ways of building a community. Either you believe that to build a strong community, you need a nucleus at the start of people who are like-minded, believe in the same things, and so they will spread out to bring more people like this. And so you need to start small with a hardcore group of people who believe in the same way, believe that the direction we're going is the right one, so that when they speak as one. It's very cultistic, but it is usually how, you know, bigger communities are then built. And the more this grows, the less hardcore and the less, you know, they are. So I would say that we are in a state with MultiversX that maybe what Benjamin is trying to do when he did block GRM
it was
actually to weed out the garden, you know. It's like, I want more people who are in that tone of voice, and I don't want those people.
The thing is, what is interesting is it's interesting because they did not choose the investors, but they want to choose the community members. Because let's be clear, when they write funds, I mean, when they raised funds to finance, it was through Lunch Pool, okay? And people entered the community, they invested in EGLD, they provided funds to the foundation, so everything is possible because of them. So they did not choose, but now they want to choose among the investors, among the KOL, among all the people from the ecosystem, who can be part of it and who can't. This is like permission community.
I don't entirely agree.
In a way.
So to start with, I think that Elrond at the time was kind of like in a luxury position, because soon after launch of mainnet, the token was performing well, Maya had a lot of adoption, etc. So everything was smooth sailing except a few bumps on the road, but like there was very tight community support, very few dissonant voices. And then suddenly, obviously, market shift, etc. And that is when the critics started to become a bit louder, and you could see that some people started expressing their concerns or again their critics, and because it's very simple, but when price goes up, there's less complaints than when price goes down.
I don't
say everything is related to price.
Listen to it, like Arno.
I don't say everything.
I never spoke about the price of the EGLD.
I know.
So it's not about that.
No. But you've always been a vocal person, no matter, even if it would be at $5,000 EGLD, you would still be.
I just want to be clear. If it was just about the market, was just about the price. If people attacking like a price is dumping, you know what? Okay, I understand. It's harassment. But if it's about specific topics, strategy, reputation, choices. So I would not put it in the same bag, but maybe
I agree, but I think it's a bit more complicated than that, because you get both. Like on a daily basis, they probably get hundreds of people saying, "Oh, price down, price down, price down." So then it's very easy when you scoop to take some other types of critics.
But imagine, nobody answered this to me. If tomorrow MultiversX is adopted, which we all want by millions of people, tens of dozens of millions of people, how will these fragile builders behavior behave? How will they do? Will they block every people that will fund the project, or will
No,
they give their Twitter account to professional to moderate and to handle it professionally? That's
so first I would think, yeah, like the budget would allow for more
an
professional
intern cost
taking.
$200 hundreds per month, please. It's not about
Yeah, okay, sure.
Adam Bates could have done it.
But also it's about the percent. Like if when, let's be a bit more optimistic, when MultiversX gets a lot more adoption, those voices are going to represent a much lower percentage of the people you're interacting with. Like the problem is, right? Well, in it tends to be like that, because right now, if you look at certain of the posts and you see the commentary filter, just like, yeah, like the disabled comment sounds very tempting.
What you say is very true. When you see the reply on Benjamin and Lucian posts, the portion of positive comments is less and less important this last month and years.
I think that is price related, and you know that I'm not a price rated person, but I think it's price
possible. It's very possible, definitely.
And I also think, like you were talking about in picking, they didn't pick the investors, but they want to pick the community, etc. Yeah, like I also think that we have this slight misconception in Web3 that because we hold a token, even if we hold little of it, we have like a massive say, and like we should be listened to by the tops. And I think that misconception gives people like the entitlement of like, why I'm not being listened to. And but the problem with that is, then suddenly you get some rather small users that suddenly get blocked by Ben, and it's like, wait, that means that my message actually bothered Benjamin Minku, me with my 200-300 followers, me with my bag of X EGLD. I managed to bother Benjamin Minku to the point where he went to the effort of blocking me. And that indirectly gives more power to a user that wouldn't even realize that Benny actually read his tweet beforehand.
We'll move to the next topic, but thank you very much, guys, for this debate. Very interesting. And let's welcome Rock. Hello, Rock. Ooga booga. Oh, we can't listen to you. Just activate your mic.
Yeah, I'm all good now. Good booga, guys.
Hey, what's up?
That was I enjoyed listening to that heated debate. It's always a lot of passion, a lot of emotions when it comes to that one block button. So,
what about you, Rock? Did you ever block someone as a Boogas builder, as a Booga founder, co-founder? Did you ever blocked anyone? And if yes, why?
I don't block people.
And you know what?
I never blocked even one person. I mean, to be honest, it's like I want to know what's going on. I know it's nice to make your timeline look the way you want it, but then you're living in a bubble. You're not actually seeing the real everything that's happening. So no, I do not agree. I don't think the founders should be blocking people, because then you don't get the full scope of things. Maybe it's not the best for your mental to be seeing some things, but at the end of the day, I don't know. I don't agree with it. I don't think they should be doing that. That's just me.
Arno wanted to.
Yeah, I wanted to say, but to be fair, you're not in the same situation.
Of course not. And I fully understand that, So, but that would be a different question, right?
Yeah,
like, do you feel like they should be allowed to do it in their position? I can understand, but on the other side, there's mute as well. You don't have to block people. You don't have to show that is your stance, because then you're dividing people, right? And obviously that's not what we want. We want to unify the whole space. We want to work as a unit, as a team, to actually have good vibes, you know, and anything that goes against it is something that I do not agree with personally, because when you block someone, you clearly want them to know that you block them, right? You're doing it on purpose so that he knows about it. So you're kind of letting your, you know, I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, you're clearly showing that that person is getting under your skin.
Yeah. So
maybe he's right. Maybe because you did not take the time to answer. Anyway, it was just to make the transition. Of course, we did not invite you, Rock, for this. Let's speak about you look very tired, but you know what? Me too. So same boat. You launched a new step for Boogas project a few weeks after the pre-mint. And so it's like a social event that will last for 3 weeks with thousands of dollars to win. It started yesterday. What do you expect from this campaign? And GG for the Persona partnership, which is one of the biggest NFT projects on Solana, I think.
On ETH.
On ETH. Okay, sorry.
No problem.
So what do you expect from this campaign, and will there be any other big partnership in the coming days or weeks?
Yeah, yeah, what I'm expecting from it really is you know, brand awareness, attention. That is the main thing we're fighting for on the timeline. So I just really wanted to find a way of giving back to the community, giving back to the people, let's say, that want to show support, and just getting more people aware about the brand. You know, there's always, let's say, different steps of you wanting to get involved in something. The first step is, you know, hearing about a brand for the first time, and then you need to, let's say, hear about it or see something from that brand a few times for you to actually get interested in it, right? So without that, you will never come. So that's the main reason for it. Obviously, we're building out Booga Heights, which we have rebranded, and we're kind of changing the main kind of use case for it. So it's going to be not only for Boogas, but we want to go in a direction of a community for all NFT believers. I feel like there's a very massive niche there and a great opportunity to be had. So that is one of the goals. Elon kind of made it a lot harder for us by allowing everyone to comment on community posts. Because of that, you know, less people actually join. So that's a bit of a hurdle that we need to jump over. However, we're kind of working on that. With regards to collaborations, we are working on more collaborations. We've got many talks, and you know, but the thing is, a lot of, let's say, these cool brands, it's not like someone will give you a straightforward answer, yes, no. It takes time. I'm hoping that we've got another few in the pipeline. So hopefully that will be an answer, a yes to that answer. But yeah, I can't confirm it just yet. We've got a cool announcement coming on Thursday. However, that was already announced, I guess. And yeah, more partnerships and more collaborations will definitely come, but at what stage or what time exactly, that's hard to determine. But I'm very proud of the Persona announcement because I love Persona, and you know, it's not the, let's say, quantity, but the quality that we really wanted to double down on. And already it kind of opened up some doors for us. You know, some conversations were started after that. And you know, once other brands hear that you already have a cool partnerships with let's say, well-established brand, it's much easier to start the conversation going. So yeah, like, you know,
just a question regarding personas. Actually, you said, and I read yesterday, that you're very happy because you're bringing, you're making this partnership with a community, with a project that has somewhat aligned ethos with Boogas. So what's that? Maybe people want to discover. They discovered Boogas thanks to this persona announcement. What are the ethos? What are the values that you guys have?
So one is IP. Two is they're actually building out a brand and a business, right? They've got their gaming brands that they're growing out, and they're very focused on the community side of things. So like when at NFT Paris, they had like free events there as well, so very focused on giving back to the community and, organizing cool events. So that's something that I would like to look into doing with them in the future on some in real life event, doing a collaboration there. And plus, integrating persona into the Booga Town as well. That would be something cool. And also, they've got a creator program, so they're very heavy on the creator side of things. And we want to grow our Booga content creator program. So there will be a lot of, let's say, alignment there, and we'll be able to kind of help each other out. And depending on the, let's say, deals and offers that we get, we will be able to, let's say, pass on and get some persona content creators and, let's say, share the campaign with them as well. And also the, kind of direct the content creators that come to Boogas to persona, so that we can kind of align on growth there. But they are very focused on the long term as well, which is something that I love to see in brands. And I guess that's the same thing for Boogas as well. So everything they're kind of doing is aligned for the long term and not for the short term hype or whatever, So that's something that we are very aligned on.
Cool. I would like to discuss a bit more generally about the NFT market, not price-wise, because we've seen that hasn't changed that much. But what is surprising to see is that, for example, end of last year, we had Doodles who did a partnership with McDonald's. Pudgy Penguins obviously launched the Abstract Chain and had their own TCG card game that was produced and distributed, I won't say all over the world, but at least in Europe and the US. And now there's even rumors about, again, Pudgy Penguins working with Uniqlo to be part of the UT collection. That might only be rumors. I'm not sure if it has actually been announced. But it is very funny because those are announcements that would see those floor price skyrocket 2-3 years ago. And today the prices barely nudge, even with such massive announcements. So what do you think has changed, and what is the step future for a project like Boogas and all the projects that are a bit lifestyle inspired?
To be frank, like, I believe all big projects at the moment are struggling, right? Like even Pudgies are struggling with onboarding, with in real life activations, and it's not easy at the moment, just because of the, let's say, general approach, or just general lack of interest from, let's say, normies, right? So from consumers. So it's kind of, you're dealing with the same people and you're trying to onboard the people that are already here. So as I know, Luca is struggling to onboard people as well. So if that changes, it's all in cycles. Once the media start talking more about NFTs again, once they get, more attention, once, let's say, it's more common, let's say for let's say a normie to get a NFT, or once it's actually easier to do as well, so there's a lot of barriers, let's say, in place that make that harder. What is the future for NFT brands? Well, the most important thing, and you can see that from the top brands, is venturing outside of the Web3 bubble and growing in real life, growing on Web2 socials, and trying to increase the, let's say, top of the funnel to get people to join the brand, to love the characters. It all takes time, and like NFTs obviously had this initial interest, or they were something new, right? They were like, oh, you've got an NFT, or NFT PFP, whatever. They were the talk of the town, and then obviously everything kind of went on a lull. And how the future looks like, we don't exactly know. However, we know for certain that this technology is only going to get better. It's only going to improve. Adoption is growing, so it's just a matter of time until let's say the attention shifts back to NFTs. You can already kind of see that, where attention has shifted towards NFTs. However, it's more scattered all around the different blockchains, so it's not that noticeable. It's certain NFT projects are getting the attention that they're deserving. Obviously, for the likes of like Pudgies, there was a lot of speculation, and a lot of the holders of Pudgies got a lot of Pengu, right? So they got a lot of free money, which was included in the price of the asset. So obviously that is already happened. So that's one of the main reasons why it went down, because it's not like there's going to be another Pengu airdrop for penguins, right? So it's going to be.
But actually, there is one, I think, for abstract, but based on activity. But basically,
that's different, right?
Yeah. But basically, there is. I think the first NFT bubble, I'm going to call it the bubble, was a bit of like greater fool theory too. Like a lot of people who didn't care about the utility, etc., they were just convinced that the price would keep going up and would make. And we've kind of like, pure speculation. And I think that like that part has kind of like died out a little bit. And now and that's why a lot of projects that were only speculation completely crashed, while others that still have some form of utility, community, etc., have survived, even though the prices aren't amazing. And I want to say something, but I'll let Arno take over.
Thanks. The first wave of NFTs adoption was 95% due to pure speculation, as Joachim said. And this vibe, this need of gambling, of greed, has moved to meme coins in that cycle. Meme coins are even easier to speculate upon. So I believe, this is human nature. Betting on stuff, we've done it for ages, and it's not going to change. So now the question is, what's left for NFTs? And I believe that there's one other thing that is part of our human nature that is very strong. And it's actually a good opportunity for NFT projects right now to build upon. And it is the will and the need to be together with people who are like-minded. Especially in a society that is becoming more and more digital. And you see online communities everywhere. So the biggest struggle, I would say, for NFT projects is that you're not competing just against other NFT projects. You are competing against other communities, other community building tools. Because when you think about it, an NFT is nothing less than a membership card that can have added utility on top. But it is a very strong value proposition if you manage to clearly hash out what is your community about. Because then if your community is about, I don't know, coffee lovers, and you bring coffee lovers around the world, you have events, etc., you can start building businesses, utility, a value proposition on top of this clearly identified vertical. Okay, we're a community about coffee lovers. Now we can, I'm from Paris, I can start something in Paris, build partnerships with coffee shops, and grow it from here. The issue is when you're an NFT project and it's not clearly identified what you stand for, because nobody understands what you stand for. So what's left? Okay, price appreciation of your asset, maybe. It's not much. People will, of course, move away once they sell. So I believe this is a good period of time for NFT projects. It's super hard, but it is actually the right time to create the right value proposition to build the communities of tomorrow, I would say.
Just as a quick response, I think you're kind of like talking about a very specific type of NFTs, kind of like the PFPs NFTs, or kind of like because, for example, we've seen.
Yeah, we're talking about Boogas, so
Yeah, but the NFT space in general, we're also seeing a lot more use of NFTs in games, etc., which are still,
but it's a different topic. That's the adoption of the NFT technology, and it's
exactly.
It's a different topic.
And that's where I think there's, as you said, there's this separation to take into account between the technology and what we commonly refer as NFTs. So yeah, no, I just want to clarify that part, but we agree on that.
Yeah, I just wanted to respond to Arno. I mean, I fully agree with you. And NFT is a great community building tool, and one of the main reasons why we actually wanted to have Boogas in the Web3 space, right? Because the things that we want to grow and build, we could have done Boogas with the story, with the IP, with everything, without the Web3, let's say, part of it. However, that is the biggest advantage of Web3, right? Being able to create an amazing community, worldwide community, that allows you to open up new doors, gets you amazing new connections. A lot of the people from the community, are not, let's say, regular Joes, but a lot of people in Web3 are actually people that have their own businesses, and they can, grow the brand through their own, let's say, ventures, which is really cool. And it's like launching a brand on steroids, right? So like, if we manage to bring in our value proposition, with the products and everything that we want to do, and we expand the story and all of the let's say all of the characters, and grow that out as well at the same time, plus the Web3 gamification and Web3, let's say, integration, activation, it's you're working on a few different verticals. So like, we don't really need the Web3 vertical to work 100% for Boogas to materialize and for Boogas to happen. Like, Boogas are going to happen regardless of what happens in the Web3 side of things, right? So obviously the best case scenario is everything kind of works together, and everything kind of propels each other and boosts all of the rest. Because obviously you can see that in how Klanos did it, Pudgies did it, and all of the big brands. It really makes life easier, right? And like I said, if I go to Web2 brands and say, look, guys, this is the interest that I have from people all over the world. I can put your products all over the world. If we do a collaboration, let's say people from all over the world would be interested. So you can grow your brand awareness, not only, let's say, like in this one country, but you could venture out and, open up new doors at the same time. It's just a lot of opportunities arise, right? And I've already had quite a few really cool conversations with brands from Poland that have amazing products that will want to partner with us at the right moment in time to create cool things together. And that's just something that wouldn't be possible without the Web3 aspect. It gives you leverage, right? So obviously, like you guys have said, it's not an easy task, and the most important thing here is time. Like time cannot be highlighted enough, right? Like you just need to be building, and you need to be, let's say, fostering and creating the community for enough time in order for it to finalize. And let's be honest, the real community of Boogas will form after the main mint, right? So everything that we do now, it's like the backbone, right? It's the skeleton of the community that we want to grow out. And we've got so many amazing people that are already part of Boogas, even if they're not that active at the moment, right? We have a lot of amazing builders. We have a lot of amazing people that are already part of Boogas simply because, not because they want to make money on it, right? They just actually, let's say, want to be a part of this journey, right? They want to see where this will go, what will, kind of happen, right? So it's kind of taking all of the people on an adventure, on a journey into growing out Boogas and to creating a cool brand that, people can be proud of being a part of. So that's the main goal here. It's not the destination, but the journey, right? So I, for one, am very happy with all of the progress so far, and we just need to keep at it, grow, and do the right collaborations to open up new doors and to get Boogas in front of new people, right? Because that's the most important thing. That's one of the biggest mistakes actually Web3 brands make, is they grow in Web3, and then they don't venture out. They don't go on Web2 socials. They don't then try to grow the funnel outside of Web3, which is very small. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I constantly see the same people on the timeline. Even if you go to others, it's such a small world. It's so little people here, so
you can still bring people when you have clear value proposition.
Yeah.
All my friends who are interested in investing, I brought them into the space. So they all have, either invested in tokens. Now they also do a bit of DeFi, because it's complementary to some of the things they do in, investing, I don't know, in other stocks, apartments, whatever. So ultimately, it comes down to clearly defining what you stand for and what you can offer, because then it's very easy to onboard more people. Coming back to the coffee thing, if, for example, Boogas stood for a community that loves coffee and has a few use cases built around coffee, all my friends who love coffee and really love coffee, I would just bring them in. So ultimately,
So I think, Arno, we found your new NFT collection that you mentioned at the beginning of the space. So it will be about coffee.
Maybe.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Soon.
Yeah, well, Boogas will have coffee. So yeah, like the main thing for us as well is actually having the community bond around the characters, about the story, and obviously coffee will be a big play in all of this. So
no, but I'm talking about
yeah,
coffee. It's like something, you know, it's building a company that that can scale is often a story of finding a valuable niche.
Yeah.
And as you said, and so whether it's coffee or about surfing, and you know, I don't know, you build a community of surfers around the world, and as one of the utility is that, you know, you have a product that you have all the coolest surfing spots. I don't know. You have some, but ultimately, and it could be a challenge today for Boogas. If I were to onboard more people into Boogas, right now I have, you know, good vibes. It's a brand that's telling a story, but is it strong enough? Is it, you know, niched enough to go out to someone and say, hey, would you like to be part of this community? They're talking about a story with cavemen coming to the modern age, and the community has good vibes. Again, you keep in mind that you are competing against that person already being in other communities.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
So it's similar to, okay, come and join and be on X. Yeah, but I'm already on Instagram. So this takes time, you know.
Yeah, of course.
It's very similar in a way. It's indirect competition, but it is competition.
Yeah, of course. It's fighting for attention, right? It's fighting for the time of the person.
For the time, yes.
Yeah, he only has a limit. Yeah, I know, but if he doesn't know about you, then you don't even have a chance,
True.
right?
True.
But ultimately, like you said, you're fighting for that time of that person, which is hard, right? Because at the end of the day, you want to better the lives of your community, right? That's why I was always against all of, you know, let's say the grinding, all of the, let's say, Discord, old school vibes where people were there, you know, 24/7, simply because one, it's not sustainable. Two, it's not actually good for you, right? So I don't want that for the Boogas community, right? Like that's not something we're aiming for. You know, obviously the marketing is totally different, let's say now, to what it needs to be after the main mint as well. Because like at the moment, all of the marketing and all of, let's say, the attention is on the actual people that will want to, you know, buy a digital collectible, right? After that, it's all about onboarding people to the actual brand, right? So what we stand for, what we're building, and the products. But ultimately, you know, it kind of changes, right? So you have, let's say, different stages of the brand growth and marketing at the same time. So yeah, I fully agree with you. It's you have to niche down, and you have to have that value proposition for why someone would want to donate his time to that particular brand, right? Or community. Ultimately, that is the case.
Thank you very much, Brock. We are running out of time.
No problem. I'm out of time.
It was really cool to have you this morning. I had a few questions, but because we're out of time, I will just ask you one. So how are you going to turn this engagement, which is pretty much farmed, into a real engagement in the Rock in the Booga project?
Yeah, so you know, it all comes down to, let's say, the lead up towards the main mint, right? So this is, let's say, the start, right? The SoFi campaign is the start of the lead up. Hopefully, if everything goes well, we'll be able to go straight into the main mint after. So kind of continuing on the let's say attention and the growth as we do extra collaborations that will come in because of this brand awareness, because of this attention. and through different, let's say, activations. So we just want to continue this lead up all the way to the main mint, and yeah, so that's the main goal here.
Okay, sounds good. Rock, thank you very much.
Yeah, no
all the
problem.
best for the next steps of the project.
Yeah,
of course.
thank you. I
You know,
definitely need
come
some sleep.
anytime, here, and yeah, see you soon, Rock.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Ciao. So okay, let's go back like this. We had several topics I wanted to speak about this morning. So we spoke about Boogas, Globies, and Hatom. So yesterday we read new accusation from Mihai to Hatom team. Who is supposed to dump EGLD, and after on Twitter people spoke about the price of the developers at Hatom, and it was mentioned in hour, but it was per day. Well, so many things were said. Most of them were answered, but of course we could not speak about MultiversX without speaking about these accusations, and we are lucky to have Arno with us. So Arno, how do you and how no, how do you react in front of this accusation, and do you have anything to reply? We can mention that Robert made a post about these accusations, but how do you live with this, and do you have anything to answer to this blur accusation? Because it's not clear, there's no proof, it's just yeah, something that is here to build some mistrust for Hatom.
Yeah, I'm just going to stand up.
Oh, okay.
Because, yeah. So how can I answer this? I can tell a story if I have a few minutes. So it is the story of a little town. In this little town, you only had a few shops because you couldn't have more. So you had one bakery, you had one butcher shop. And so one day you have a guy who comes in and says, "Oh, the butcher shop is working nicely in this town. They're making good business. I don't know anything about butcher shops, but let me start my own butcher shop." So he starts his own butcher shop. And after a few months, his butcher shop doesn't work slightly as strong as he would because there's a second butcher shop and the market is not big enough. So he goes into the other butcher shop at night and starts looking at how this shop does its business, and he copies everything. And he starts harassing the first butcher shop.
He copies.
Yeah.
But he add some features that looks like innovative and great, and without saying that all the base is just a copy.
Yeah.
I would add this.
Yeah. So then he starts also harassing the owner of the first butcher shop. And so, the butcher shop, the first one, the guys, the butchers, they get sick of this, and so they close shop. So a few months go by, and the business of the butcher shop is declining because we live in a world where people start to become a bit more vegan. So he's making less money, and so he starts looking at the bakery now, and he's like, the bakery is doing good business. You know what? I don't know anything about bakery, but let me start my bakery now. And so he starts his bakery, and he pulls off the same system. starts harassing the bakers, starts trying to copy the bakery, and this is where we are. So that's the story of what's happening with Xoxno, with Mihai. And
so what you say is Hatom is not the first, and I can testimony, we can say, because we saw many other projects who suffered from this toxic behavior, but maybe on the substance about this accusation, for those who maybe did not have time to read Robert post and so maybe can you give us some element? Maybe maybe Hatom will communicate, I don't know, but I think this is something important to reassure and maybe to contradict this accusation. Let's be clear. They accuse Hatom to sell enough EGLD to make EGLD dump as fuck.
Yeah. So, okay, you know what? Of course, Hatom is not going to answer this. But, you know, if some people here have doubt about this, let me just, a simple picture. Hatom is a 12 million market cap project. MultiversX is a 400 million market cap project. Every day, you have currently between 15 and $20 million volume of trading on EGLD. Hatom is around 100K. And in the past 6 months, yes, there was about $2.5 million worth of HTM sold into USDC, so it goes for EGLD, etc. But if you think that $2.567 million worth of sell pressure on EGLD is going to move slightly in 1 bit the EGLD chart, then I cannot do anything for you, you know, because it over the last 6 months, it represents something like not even 1% of EGLD sell pressure. And, you know, what if it represented? What if? Okay, we have Adam here. Hi, Adam. Hi, Adam. Then can you discount and factor the buy pressure? Because people are coming in to buy HTM. We're one of the only tokens on MultiversX that still attracts people and people to buy HTM. How do they do that? Well, guess what? They buy EGLD before. And let me tell you that if you aggregate all the buy volume of HTM over the time that Hatom has launched on the chain, you will discover that you have something like more than 150 million aggregated buy volume. So just, you know, before talking nonsense like this, and by the way, we all know the playbook, so I must say that whenever Mihai starts FUDing, it's usually that he's about to launch a new product. So, you know, that's the growth strategy.
Lending protocol is soon.
I'm ready to take a bet within the next month. We're going to see Xoxno's lending protocol launch. And the growth strategy is always the same. FUD the competitor, FUD the founders, FUD the products.
It's free marketing. It's free.
It's free. Yeah. It's a good growth strategy when you want to you know, I don't know, but you definitely want to not grow the MultiversX ecosystem. So, you know what?
So I think we replied to this. We are, because, you know, people I think are torn within the MultiversX community by
not so much.
I mean, some people know Mihai and his behavior in the community. Some others are interested by this strategy, but in the middle, you have people that really are sincerely asking what is true, what is not, because they are not like specialists in analyzing on-chain things and so on. So that's why it's interesting for Mihai to give proof if he said he has proof of such behavior, and if there is not proof like this, yeah, keep asking, keep doing your own research.
GRM, I see Adam talking, it's like you're dumping on Dex, la 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 la. Bro, it's just stop being an attack dog like this and just ask yourself, how are you contributing to make this ecosystem grow?
Let's make this conversation not personal, but maybe we can speak about.
Then we can talk about Soxno and Hatom and just compare. What you launched your ticketing system. Where's the growth? Well, I mean, when does Hatom has attacked Soxno or? Sure. I mean, this is how you guys work. I'm flabbergasted, to be honest. It's just,
what I'm asking. There's an interesting topic. If we go above this personal attack, which is completely stupid, I can read in the comment. I will not even mention it. But even if Hatom would sell the EGLD they have in treasury to finance the development of the project, even if the foundation MultiversX would sell every GLD they have to make the ecosystem grow, to build this ecosystem that we are all waiting for, what's the problem? Is the problem the selling, or because there is no purchase pressure on this token? So what's the point in this? I don't know, Joachim, if you have anything to say about that. Will you sell the EGLD that you will raise if you do a fundraising token for Gopa Labs, for example?
So, well, first of all, it's not a theory. There is a token sale of a GAPA token coming soon. But yeah. So it's always a complicated topic, right? Because we are using this ecosystem to raise funds in EGLD. As we saw a long time ago, Drifters did an NFT sale in USDC, and that had some form of backlash because it wasn't in EGLD. But it was younger. It was
in EGLD. It is in EGLD.
Yeah.
Indirectly, yes, the way it works is that every asset that is purchased on MultiversX is in EGLD. It's how it works.
Partially. Because you still have stables bridged from other chains, which do count a little bit, but the vast majority is EGLD.
How do you get stables?
By bridging them from another chain.
No, but let's say you have a sale on MultiversX that is in stable.
Yes.
How do you get the stable?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The problem is that there's very few people who are actually going to bridge USDC, so people are mostly going to buy it by dumping EGLD to buy it, to participate. So most raises in the crypto ecosystem are indirectly tied to the native token. And as you say, the point of a raise is to be able to cover the cost of development to be able to launch products. So the whole dump shaming of one party or the other, that's development. Yes, the price, again, it's a price question. If the price was going up and they were selling, no one would say anything, but obviously it's because the price is down, so we need to find the scapegoats for it. So we're going to put the blame on the entities we know are selling. And we had the same with the validators before staking V4, where we were complaining of certain validators selling their rewards and not participating, etc. There is, when things are going bad, we want to pinpoint, we want to put the blame on entities, but where my biggest issue with this whole scenario is that like we're actually shooting ourselves in the foot so many times over and over again by creating this, like, we're a small community, we're creating massive division. People who come and discover MultiversX go on Twitter for like a few hours and they just see people shouting at each other, claiming things that might be true or might not be true. Again, like, I haven't dug into it because I don't care. I don't have time to dig into it. I have better things to do. So I don't take any position on it other than like it really tears me apart to see so much energy spent trying to ditch at each other's instead of just like contributing together and see where we can have affinities, where we can have synergies, where we can improve together.
What is sickening is that, and let's let's talk about the who we're talking about here. Mihai is a talented builder. So instead of just building, I mean, we're in, it's the analogy with my story. We're in a small town. Why do you build a lending protocol? I mean, just build something, I don't know, a prediction market that you can plug on top. Just build something different.
So, like, especially, let's if we take the narration of Xno and Mihai, he decided to build this lending and liquid staking protocol in front of Hatom because he thinks that Hatom is not, like you said, open source, completely decentralized, and whatever. I'm not a tech guy, but what the argument that he mentions is we need an open source, decentralized, and more ethical lending borrowing,
which is completely BS because I mean, Xoxno NFT marketplace was completely closed source until he talked about this topic. Yes. And somebody brought it to him like, but bro, you're saying that Hatom is not open source, but your NFT marketplace has been closed source for years, and he open sourced everything.
Yes.
So I mean, it's just sickening, you know. It is clearly somebody who doesn't know how to grow a business, because all he does is trying to attack businesses that seem to work on the MultiversX chain. And by the way, Mihai, if you're listening right now, it's not funny to have a lending protocol, even one that with significant liquidity. With the current markets and the current price, we're not making that much money. So I mean, just grow outside, build new products, and stop attacking other builders to grow. I mean, it's just it's a pure zero-sum game in the end.
You could even discuss it. It's a negative game because I think as a next time we lose that because we don't attract
losing people.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, the reputation of the chain is not earning anything from that. It's the contrary. We can see in the comment and even on X, like many people from the community are just they're annoying by this situation, and actually many of them want to leave both. Actually, okay, I can't stand with this toxic atmosphere, so you know what, I'm leaving, and I think MultiversX doesn't need this at the moment.
No, exactly. But there's one part where I'll slightly disagree with Arno, is the part with like one is enough because we're a small ecosystem. Like I believe you are a defender of the free market and of healthy competition. So having several options towards the user is always good. Yes, because we are a small ecosystem, you would be better off doing something else because there's so many products that still haven't been released on MultiversX that would allow you to not compete on anything and have what we call blue ocean. But we can't say like we should not compete either. But obviously, it's how you compete, which is a very different topic.
Competition is not always a good thing. And there, I'm not talking just about Hatom or Soxno and whatever. I'm talking about the capacity to have the means of creating products that really are really disruptive. And competition is weakening for everybody. So that's why, you know, if you can have a market where you have small competition, it is actually usually better for the users in the end. Competition is interesting to challenge, you know, and make sure that the user's interest is at the heart of the product. But a market, like, let's be clear, if Hatom didn't have this position for the last years, it wouldn't be able to have built what it had built.
Yeah, but okay, but if we take your logic, Hatom isn't the first one to provide liquid staking. There were solutions that were suboptimal of liquid staking, but we had Salsa, for example, which was launched before Hatom's, if I'm not wrong. And so in the idea of we should just allow one actor, then we would only have Salsa. And
I'm not saying allow. Of course, we should allow everybody to enter, and it is completely a free market. But you know the difference between the liquid staking from Salsa and the liquid staking from Hatom? It's marketing, it's the capacity to grow, to expose it to an audience. And you know what? If Soxno played fair, no problem. It is just the way they try to grow that is problematic for everybody.
Yeah, I'm not debating how things are handled by both entities. I'm just talking about like in general, because we were talking about decentralization, and like we're not going to open a whole kind of worms talking about that. But basically, like competition is prone decentralization because you have several actors. So if something happens to one of the actors, you still have the other one. And for something as liquid staking, I think that is actually pretty vital.
Yes.
But yeah, I think I'm not GRM, so I'm not the one who's supposed to say that, but I think we've gotten around the question. And
yes,
we can move on.
We did, and we will close this show now. But yeah, maybe we just a few minutes before, and Arno, if you need to leave, will of course excuse you because I wanted to speak about Paris Blockchain Week for a few minutes. So Arno, can you stay? No, you can't. Okay.
No,
all the best, my friend. Take care and keep smiling. You know, it's just social networks.
You know what? In my personal life, I have challenging because some very close person to me have health issues, and when I wake up, you know, you put things in perspective. And I'm super excited that I'm participating in building a project that I really enjoy because I was a user before joining as a builder in the team. I believe in DeFi. I believe in blockchain. It's great. It's great, you know. But then you have those kind of things happening. It's just how do we grow? You know, it's just
yes. It's very important for mental health, for staying focused on what we do, to take some recul. Comment on dit en anglais?
Take a step back.
Take a step back. It's just words in the internet, but what you build is real. So yeah, let's keep building.
Back to building.
Definitely. Thank you, Arno. Bye bye.
Cheers, guys. Have a great day.
Take care.
So yeah, Joachim, last week we were at Paris Blockchain Week, one of the biggest blockchain events in Europe and in the world. You were there for Gopa Labs, the project that you're building for like 10 years now.
It was launched before Bitcoin. People just don't know it.
So what did you like or dislike in this event? And we also took part of the MultiversX meetup. So what did you notice? What did you like or dislike in this the main event, Paris Blockchain Week? And we'll speak about this side event organized by MultiversX and others, other sponsors.
Yeah, Certic and Massa. But we'll get into that. So it was the second edition of Paris Blockchain Week, which I attended. It's always nice. I always find it crazy how much happens in Paris compared to, because I live close to London, and I'm just like, why don't we get big events in London? I'm tired of taking the Euro stuff. But anyway, so the Paris Blockchain Week, I would say for a regular consumer Web3 user, is not aimed for them. They'll have much more fun in NFT Paris or etc. It is very B2B, but B2B inside blockchain conference. What I mean with that is that most of the stands you will see are businesses that provide services or infrastructure, etc., to other Web3 businesses. So, for example, if you're looking for development companies, marketing, market makers, that's kind of the perfect conference for it. If you are more targeting, if you don't need those parts, but are more targeting towards other businesses, or you towards consumers, is not as interesting. And personally, I saw most of the stands were the same as last year. There were a few new ones, but quite a lot of repetition. Exportal wasn't there this year, which again, if we compare Exportal to all the other stands, it did stand out in the sense that that was much more aimed towards the consumer. I know we had 1-inch wallet there too, but mostly again was very infrastructure based. And the side events are the most fun part of the conference. We actually had breakfast at the Avalanche breakfast before we went to the MultiversX meet and greet, which was a good time. We had a few members of the core team. We had Lucian Minku, Daniel Serb, Alex Radu, and I can't remember the not Alex. No, not
David. BDT.
David Opris. Sorry, David Opris. Yeah, and another person which I can't remember the name of from the top of my head. But Benny, who was a speaker at the main conference, did not attend the side event, which didn't go unnoticed. Let's put it that way. So yeah, what about you, Jerome? Tell us about your Paris Blockchain Week.
Well, it's the fourth Paris Blockchain Week I attend, so it's pretty much always the same actors, the same organization, the same price, very high. Fortunately, I'm not paying because I was a media partner with the GM Web3, but yeah, definitely it's not for retail. It's for entrepreneur. It's for people that are seeking funds, employees, partners, customers, users, but not people who just want to chill with crypto bros. Okay, let's be clear about that. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I did not really attend to the conferences, the speech. This is not something that I'm interested in. I'm more interested in the networking, meeting the next customer for my consulting agency, the next guest for my media, and it was in this regard a very good event, definitely. Also, it's a good opportunity to meet with friends, and yeah, we took a picture with all the MultiversX members who were there. So Ionesco from X Cards, guys from Shelters, you, Lucian, and Etienne also.
Middle staking.
Kevin from Middle Staking. Yeah, so many people that are friends. So it's very good opportunity to meet all together. So that's Paris Blockchain Week, and it's very interesting to speak with people from other ecosystem, because when you're in MultiversX, like 100% of your time, this is not my case, but this is the case of many people in MultiversX. it's very interesting to speak with people from Avalanche, Polkadot, ETH, Solana, because Solana organized many many side events. Very cool, very chill, very open to people. So it's interesting to compare the culture, the issues that they encounter in terms of adoption, financing, and so on. So when you look in the mirror, you can complain. When you compare with others, you can reassure yourself sometimes.
Yeah, like I think one thing that the Paris Blockchain Week confirmed to us, even though stands are still expensive and everything, is that like blockchain in general has known better days, and that we're all in between a rock and a hard place, as we say in English. But yeah, but it's always. I think those are the times where we're going to see the chains, the foundations, etc., who take the right decisions at the right time. So for example, we talked to quite a few people, as you said, related to Solana and to Superteam, which is I wouldn't say the equivalent of X Alliance on Solana, but they are country based. So like there's several super teams, and so they do, as you were saying, events, meetups, grants, etc. And that, yeah, like they are. It still seems to be a big priority for Solana, even though we are not in the best market conditions, to attract new builders, to ensure they are welcomed. And I think that is one thing that we hope we keep the same focus with X Alliance and MultiversX in general, because I don't think we can survive this market very long without having new and exciting projects. And to have new and exciting projects, we need new and exciting builders. So I'm all for attracting them. But as you said, to go back to Paris Blockchain Week, it is a very expensive conference. I also had the media pass. And if you paid for it, you said that, Jerome, I'm just paraphrasing what you said, you better have a plan to maximize, to meet up with potential clients, etc. Because if not, it's just a loss of money, clearly.
And going back to the MultiversX meetup, it was cool, but let's be clear, it was completely, sorry to tell, it was completely useless, because nothing was really said during this event. The community could meet up by themselves. So MultiversX, the founder Benjamin was not there. Lucian just spoke for 3 minutes, just a very small speech saying, guys, very happy to have you, many things are coming, and that's it.
Sure.
And, sorry to finish, but let's be concrete. This event was cool because there were free drink, free eat, but free food, but that's it. Nothing was organized around this meetup. You know what? I even spoke more with the other sponsors, ambassadors like Sortic, because they were really trying to share some information, to sell some stuff, and so on. MultiversX did not have anything to share or to say. And I'll finish by this, Joachim, because I can feel you want to speak. The founder, the CEO of the blockchain, who was in Paris at this very moment, did not appear. So it broadcasted the message that he fears the community. He doesn't want to meet it. So it was a very bad message for the community. Sorry, I don't know how you took this fact, but I took it in a very bad way. Can you imagine organizing a Gopa Labs meetup, and you, as a founder, as the most visible person of the ecosystem, you're not giving 5 minutes for this event? Let's be clear, it's not a good message.
To give context, yeah, like the venue was really close to the main conference. So I'm just giving context. It was like a 5 minutes walk.
5 minutes away from
yeah. So To go from the start from what you said, because I don't entirely agree with your point of view. So for me, and they did the side event last year too, which was a bit bigger, which was in a bar and which was in the evening, MultiversX, and kind of the same.
Very cool. It was very. I remember we spoke about it in this show, and we said it was cool. It was chill. Everybody was there. And
yes, but again,
successful.
But again, I think was it Daniel Seb? I don't remember. Someone talked for 5 minutes and that was it. It just was a very different, much more chilled and laid back vibe because it was at the end of the conference, etc. So I actually disagree that it was pointless, and I'm going to explain the train of thought. There's a lot of people who did not participate to the main conference that joined for that side event. Builders, as you said, Kevin from Middle Staking, Catencia, Shelters, who actually were at the AWS conference. Anyway, so just by creating this event and spending, I don't know how much, but spending some money on free food and drinks, it gave an excuse for MultiversX people who most likely were in Paris for Paris Blockchain Week or are around Paris to meet up. And I think, like, if we just take it for that, it was successful. The fact that Benny didn't show up, yes, I still think, like, did they mess up the calendar for him to have other meetings at the same time? I do not know. But I'm just saying.
You know what?
Just saying.
You're right for the first part. You're right. Okay, the meetup was useless.
Yeah.
I agree with you. You convinced me. But please, the event
let
12
me finish.
12 to 5. 5.
Yeah.
So
yes, plenty of time.
In a cafe, you don't have 10 minutes to come and say hi, and you are like 5 minutes away, and you paid for this event with the EGLD from the foundation, and you're not.
I agree. The thing I'll say is, like, I do understand that MultiversX is trying to raise funds, working with investors, big US focus, etc. But again, I'm a pain on that point. But I'm just like, without your builders as a layer 1 or layer 2, whatever, as a chain, you're no one. You can't release all the products yourselves. You need builders, you need to attract builders, and for that, your builders need to feel considerate, they need to feel prioritized, and they need to feel loved. And when you organize a side event for builders, again, because most people who attend Paris Blockchain Week are builders, yeah, I think it's the minimum thing to show up. So, like, I'm not gonna disagree with that point. No matter their focus, no matter their focus and how much they're trying to focus on the US, etc. We know he was in Paris. He talked the day after, which actually had some interesting points. It was I actually recommend people listening to that talk, not only for Benny, but because there were quite a few people. For example, the one of co-founders of Eliza OS, and it was quite interesting because they're not as, like, maximalists, AI maximalists, as I would think, and it has actually quite some interesting topics. Anyway, all that to say that Benny should have been there. But we know he was in Paris because he did a tweet about Paris the evening before. So we knew he was in Paris. Anyway, so that's my conclusion.
Thank you very much, Joachim. That's why, you know what? That's why I don't want to be alone in this show. I need to have a bro like Arno or you to balance what I think, and that's the strength of GM Web3, to balance me. Joachim, thank you very much for coming today. It was a great show, like always. See you very, very soon. And all the best for all your projects.
Thank you very much.
Bye,
and everyone watching, take care.
Bye.
Bye.
And this show is over. I hope you liked it. So don't forget to put a like, a comment, to share the link, and so on. You know how it works. It's very important for us. I will leave you just after all the link of our networks, and see you next Wednesday for a new GM Web3 MultiversX. And for the French-speaking people, see you on Friday for a new GM Web3 about Web2, Web3, entrepreneur, and blockchain. Bye-bye.